Hello and welcome to School MtG. My name is Vyacheslav and today I tell you how to build budget decks for Old School Magic, or even how to rebuild Old School Magic deck to budget versions. And let's start from meaning of budget deck in Old School Magic and in Magic, and actually in other formats, other games too. Because in my opinion, budget deck is not only cheaper deck from cheap cards, but also it's a deck that cheaper meta decks, but still have not so high, because that's possible, but strong win rate. So you can take budget decks and win some games. And if we look at the tier 1 list for Old School Magic, it's specific, of course. This list have a lot of different formats mixed, like 10 points Old School Magic or Swedish in one list, and also it have not even half of all Old School events. But to be honest, this deck is really popular in format. And it's also honest that in the first place we see Roche, not some archetype. And yeah, you can see even here. So we already have in Old School Magic price levels some budget decks, like red and white Taxage or Pinkwini, or green and black deck with little creatures and some black perfect cards. But if you watch my videos from Duel and Deck Text, you can see that I have even more budget versions of the deck. I don't use duals, don't use House Orb, so my version is even cheaper. They close to 1,000 of euros, but if you will not use cards from Unlimited or original cards, it will be much more cheaper, with cheapest reprints. And yes, I today show you how I take some popular mostly meta decks to check some good cards from them and try to build some budget variant. So I also want to tell about some specific rules that I have when I build something budget. First one, it's about mana stabilization. In Old School Magic we have duals and City of Brass. It's all lands that can stabilize you. So if you have not duals, you mostly can't use more than 2 colors in one deck. With green you can use Bird of Paradise to stabilize you, and it helps because City and Bird give good stabilization, but I used some decks with 3 colors in Bird and Cities and have mana-based problems time to time anyway, so it's not so great. I know that many decks have mana-based problems because mana-based not ideal, but without duels it's even more risky. Also, attacks can help you to stabilize your mana, but attacks work not every time, and it's a regular moment that your opponent will understand it's better to don't turn on your own attacks and will play against you and don't give you a chance to fight lands. So if you have not green, don't use 3 colors. I think so. I think it's bad practice to use 3 colors without bird. And also, I think that if you want to build good budget decks, it's better to don't build control decks, because you know, control decks have a game plan to go to late game and win in late game. Not so aggressive, fast creature on first turns. So when you play against control or midrange, or even any aggressive deck with power, in the late game your opponent will top deck Time Walk, Ancestral Recall, some expensive cards, and you with your budget deck will top deck budget cards. So, of course, time to time you can control the table, you can have a lot of control magic in hand and win anyway, but I think it's better. You will have biggest chance to win if you will play on the budget with aggressive decks, with aggressive strategies, to put big creatures fast from on a dork, to put hippie, discard cards, or just burn opponent. And today I show you how I remade 3 of these popular decks. One of them, of course, will be blue and red burn, because it's very fine for budget by some building decisions. The second one, let it be already budget black and green, and Erhnamgeddon. Yeah, third one will be Erhnamgeddon. So I'll go to laptop and show you how I change some magic decks. So here you can see some decks that are already in the Moxfield application. Oh, Moxfield. I will put link to this already budget edited decks in the description. And we start from green aggro. It will be mono green, Erhnamgeddon with 2 colors, and Counterburn with basically 3 colors. Let's start from easier one. Green aggro deck. Sadly, I can't find on the first page of this meta decks green and black version, So I found them, but it was decks for 10 points and slightly different. And now let's look at this deck. We already have the deck list. Main idea is to put little creatures by help of Mana Dork, destroy lands by a storm, and win the game, go to attack with little creatures, pump them by Penderhaven and Giant Growths, so they will become bigger shits. This deck in this version cost without sideboard, they're all without sideboard. I will check card trader price, it's close to 8,000 euros. Oh, not cheap. Let's find what we can fix here. Of course, all actually expensive cards in this section, in artifacts. It have some problematic cards like Elfil Deep Shadow. Problem is that this application calc only price for English Dark or Legends, so we can check price for Italian version. I think it costs not 20 but 4 or 5 euros. So it will be cheaper, and the same case with Maze of Wiz. It too can be Italian one. Also one of expensive cards, but not hardly expensive like Mox, is Ice Storm. But it's an important card for the deck, it's really one of main deck mechanics. So go towards facts, start from simple one, it's Mox Emerald. You know what to do, it's good. And it costs $5,000. So we must remove it. Of course Mox is not a land, but it's worked like a land, so maybe we can put one more land here. Right now this deck have 28 mana sources, elves, and 26 mana sources, because we have 2 Maze of Wiz. So maybe we can put one more Penderhaven, or other card. I'll do it with Penderhaven, okay. We can, you know, play Penderhaven, pump creature. If we have a lot of 1/1 on the table, play second one, sacrifice first, and make big attack at the end of the game. Now deck already cheaper, but go step by step. Household. So good card. From collector's edition is cheaper than 2000s, but still, you know, not for everyone. We remove it and put, I think, more crumbles. If you met a game heavy with powerful decks with Mox and maybe Robin decks, extra crumble will help you. It will be very good. And city in a bottle. For decks that I name the semi-budget, you know, it's good. If we will check the price right now, our decks cost 1,000 and some euros. But anyway, to make it more budget, like mine decks mostly, I have not a Citadel 2, we must remove it. So City is a very cool card. It's destroy any Arabian Night permanent, and players will have a chance to play Arabian Night cards. So if you play City, we can't play second one. Fine. And of course it's will deal a lot of damage to opponent who play, you know, some City of Brass. We have not this care, and Serenity Profit. Destroy 2 permanents, prevent next spells, it's very fine. But it has some drop web for us, we can't put in our deck Erhnamgeddon, so maybe it will be better to remove cities, remove Slug, it's fine, but Erhnam is better I think. And put Erhnamgeddon into deck, 4 copies. We can easily play it on the 3rd turn. We also can put Soul Ring here to cast it faster, but I'm not sure it's a good idea. Maybe it's better to put not Force Penderhaven, but Soul Ring, it's not expensive too. Now deck will cost 5,000 euros. Oh, sorry. Less than 5,000 euros. Less than decks for Pioneer or Standard formats like this. Fine. Let's go to next one, which will be Erhnamgeddon. Poof. Not work. I misclick. Erhnamgeddon is popular deck too, it's midrange, and this list is really classic, actually. It have classic set of creatures, birds, lions, Ernams, pixies, Serra Angels. Have Armageddon, balance regrowths, some removal, a lot of power, and Sylvan Library, and some lands. So, this deck that I found on the internet cost 45,000 euros. Not so cheap, right? Not budget deck. What's the problem here? Black Lotus. It's half of this price. So let's start from the mana base actually. Library of Alexandria. In my universe, it not existent budget decks, yeah? So easier to remove it and... I mistake again. Remove it and put one more copy of factory. It's to generate colorless mana, can go to attack before Erhnamgeddon, and why not? Let's use it. Now, more expensive part of mana base. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 artifact mana sources. I skip soling, but I mean the stuff that we will remove 6 of them. And if we transform it into land, it will be 25 lands and 4 birds and 29 mana sources. I'm not sure it's a good idea. I prefer to, like... Okay, with birds we can use 28, because... why not? Its deck is very need lands and very like ramp deck. So let's put more lands. Made it 24 copies of lands. Remove 1, 2, 3, 4 Moxen and put some decks, some lands. Sorry, like 2 forests and 2 plains. Yeah, 2 forests, 2 plains. Remove 1 more Moxen for extra forest. Forest is main, I think, in this version of the deck without land tax, because our plan for first turn, best variant for first turn is Birds of Paradise. Lions, it's second plan, and Swords on the first turn it's bad idea to... We have big Erhnamgeddon, we don't need kill first turn creatures, if it's not Serra Angel from Black Lotus, of course. So now we have 24 lands, some of them is Savannah. Expensive mana base, like... Let's remove it. 4 copies, put 2 more City of Brass, and put 1 more forest and 1 more plains. Okay, maybe stuff like this it is better. Instead of Black Lotus, I prefer to put not land, but second Sylvan Library. Sylvan Library is a really cool cut edge instrument. And now we have 24, 24... Yeah, 16 cards. Still some expensive stuff here. Now deck cost not 45, but 2,000 euros. Yeah, it's price of House Orb. We must remove it, sadly. Okay, remove House Orb. And maybe I think it will be a good idea to anyway put land tax here. Land taxes have good synergy with Erhnamgeddon. Let's use pair of them. And what to remove? It's so hard, actually. I think it's better to remove 1 copy of Disenchant, because... Maybe I'm wrong, maybe not. Maybe we remove plains, yeah. We will have not so many lands. 23, but with Burst 27, 28 mana sources still, with Burst and Soul Link. So it's good for us. 23, 24, yeah, it's 60 cards. Now deck price will be... Again, 200 euros. Look at this. We use cheapest version of land tax, of Sylvan, of all stuff, and it costs 200 euros. If we have some more money, you can put back House Orb or fix your mana base. I think it's pretty playable for budget deck. Counterburn. It's a really cool deck, you know. Burn is a very good strategy for most of Magic formats, and for old school it's very fine because we have a lot of burn. Mostly opponents have not enough counter magic, because old school have not enough counter magic anyway. And we will just play Lightning Bolt, Chain Lightning, Psionic Blast, and finish the game. We can win even without creatures. But this deck have slightly high price, I think, like 66, no, go to euros. 56, oh, much more cheaper. 56,000 euros. Oh, let's look what we can change here. First point that I want to do, it's remove the black color. We have Demonic Tutor and Might Twist. Actually, I use the splash like this to your color, but in another deck. This deck have 3 Badlands, 2 City of Brass, and Mox Jet, 6 black sources for 2 cards. I use 4 black sources for 2 cards in budget deck, 4 City of Brass, in control, blue and white control. So, you know, control game plan is go to late game, and in the late game it's biggest chance that we draw in our pile of cards City and one of these black cards. Anyway, in this deck plan more aggressive. I want to put creatures into play, burn opponent, and counter mostly remove all our creatures. and only really important in the damage race treats. So I think in budget version it will be too risky, so we'll remove black. I will remove demonic and put let's be risky and put one more Psionic Blast. Why not? More burn. Right now we have more burn to kill one opponent. And remove Mind Twist. And put another spell with accent cost. It will be Fireball. Where is it? Fireball. Yes. This one. And now we don't need a Badlands. Expensive dual land. And without black it generates only red mana, so we put we remove 3 Badlands and put Mountain here. Basic Mountain. 3 of them. Okay, it's nice. Go to second expensive section and it will be not artifacts, it will be this blue one. Here we have an Ancestral Recall. It's expensive too, not like Black Lotus, but more expensive than Mock. Oh, no. It's one of expensive cards, okay. Let remove Recall. Will be 0 of them. And put... what do you want to see from Recall? Burn, but we already have a lot of them. So I put one more counter spell, why not? You can see one more counter magic here, it's mana drain and cost $200. But again, it's mistake of application, it can check the price of Italian cards, and card from Italian Legends, mana drain, will cost like 40 euros, I think, maybe 50, but I'm really sure that it's 40, so it's not so expensive to don't use the budget deck if you want to play blue. I don't mention it, this deck for Swedish format, so you can see here the expensive School MtG, not so expensive Sushi, let's fix it fast. And in Swedish format Sushi is better, because in Swedish format you have not mana burn, so just 4-4 for 4, very fine. But in Atlantic, and we try to make deck for Atlantic, it's not so good, so you can use different creature. It can be Flying Man. I don't like this plan because you will have the Serendips from Arabian Nights, Flying Man from Arabian Nights, Citizen Stabilization, and you will be very punished by City in the battle. So better to use Evinclaw Orc. Also Orc deal not 1 damage but 2, good against control deck, you can trade with a lot of creatures, so let's made it. It also made deck more budget. But if you will play some of Swedish format with legal reprints, we have some communities that play it, Sushi is better, I think, because it's big. I even use Sushis in Atlantic and 10 points formats, but with combination not only with Factory but also Gemdai Tom, that draw card for 4 mana. So if you have untapped Tom and Sushi, when you kill Sushi, you will just draw card and not take damage from mana burn. But it's specific, I think not everyone will like its strategy. So, in spells we remove all really expensive stuff, go to artifacts. And mana base. Again, here we have not 5 but just 3 Moxen, Dread, Ruby and Sapphire. And Black Lotus. And I think this deck needs like 24-25 mana source. With Soul Ring it will be 25, so we remove 2, 3 and 4 artifact mana sources and put some lands, actually basic lands. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, I think it's a good decision. Right now we have 24 lands and 1 Soul Ring. And go to expensive stuff again, it's Library of Alexandria. I don't think it's so good for us. For budget version, yeah. Of course it's good for not budget. Let's remove it. And maybe we will see it only in 24 mana sources in deck, so Ring and 23 lands. Let's think more. Remove 2 island to put 2 cities, we will be very risky player, yes, very like Suicide Burn. We have the Psionic Blast that deal 2 points of damage to us, Serendip that deal damage to us, and City of Brass that deal damage to us. But okay, we faster anyway. And 2 more Volcanics we can transform to islands or mountains, and I'm pretty sure that even with Ironclaw Orcs, okay, with Orcs we can put 5 mountains. Because we have Bolt, Shatter, Fireball, Chain Lightning, and Orcs. If we will use Sushi, I'm pretty sure that 5 it's 2 more and we need only 4 of mountain. But now it will be 5 and 9 islands. and 0 volcanic islands. Not best mana base, but budget. Yeah, we trade the stability to money. And what else? We have a House Orb, we have a Wheel of Fortune, and Time Twister. I miss Time Twister, it's too expensive. And Time Walk, oh, so many expensive spells I miss. Let's remove it too. Now go to, before just remove it, go to some hate section. We already have in this list 2 copies of Blood Moon. It's really painful for any 3-colored decks for this one too. If your opponent will put dual, city or brass and plan to play something big like School MtG next turn. You put Blood Moon and he can play, if deck have not included that, he can play Land Drop, he can play nothing. And we have one more nice hate spell, and in case when we have not Suchi and have Panic of Orcs, it will be very good. It's Energy Flux. Energy Flux. During each player's upkeep, destroy all artifacts the player controls. If player don't pay 2. We have Soul Ring, but for Soul Ring we can pay 2. And let's put our decks more this hate. 2 Flux instead of Time Walk and Time Twister. So it's a fine simple plan. We have not too many artifacts. For single artifact we can pay, House Orb we will remove in future, and against any deck we can destroy mana base Blood Moon, and if your opponent have Moxen to stabilize, destroy it too, and destroy any artifact creatures. Also it's good against Robot. Yeah, if I'm not wrong, player can't use Mission Workshop to pay Energy Flux cost, so we will kill any Suchi Erhnamgeddon just because we have Flux on the table. So now deck is cheap racing already, it's, but still expensive. 3000. Let's start from House Orb, remove this one. What we can put instead of House Orb? Maybe it will be more Control Magic. Maybe Control Magic to control something. Control Magic is card that still open creatures. Or one more burn spells. But I also like the idea that we will remove one more expensive card, Wheel of Fortune, and put into deck 2 copies of Earthquake. Earthquake is fine, it don't kill our main creatures in Deep of It. Sadly, kill our orcs, but if we will use Flying Man, not. At the same time, Orcs is better than Flying Man, but it's not so hard to, sacrifice Orc to kill a lot of opponent's creatures. And Earthquake also deal damage to us, again for our suicide plan, but deal damage to opponent too. It looks fine. Looks like I need one more card. 16, 32, 36. Yeah, I need one more card. Let's put... let me think. We have right now 4, 8, 10, 11 more red spells when I put Earthquake and Fireball stuff, so let's put one more Mantray. Why not? Or not. But I think you can change mana base if you want in future. So let's look at the price. Right now the cost less than 300 euros, and at the same moment we have the mana drain for 200s. Yeah, for 200s, and actually you can find it cheaper. So if you have a 500 euros for this deck, you even can make better mana base, because you will have free money for dual, at least one. And this was my method to build budget old school Magic decks, or rebuild, to be clean. As you can see, pattern very simple. Thank you for watching this video up to the end. If you like it, please support me by leaving a comment, press the like button, or subscribe to my channel. Also, you can support me by some other ways, you can find them in the description of the video. Thank you again, have a nice day and have nice games. Bye!